You're interested in homeschooling, but you're afraid you're going to fail your kids. I'm seeing this a lot, so let's talk about it. First of all, I just want to say, once again, I'm not here to convince anybody to homeschool. I am here to help anybody and encourage anybody along that wants to homeschool. So assuming that you're someone who is interested in homeschool, but you're just a little bit afraid, let's just delve into this. It seems like being worried about failing our kids is kind of a vague fear, and I would like to encourage you to try to get specific about it. What would success look like? And what would failure look like in your homeschooling? I think for a lot of us, success probably would look like helping our kids learn all the things that kids typically are learning. And hopefully we're managing to do that while they're also happy, healthy, and whole at home. So maybe the converse concern of failure would be that maybe we couldn't help them learn everything, or maybe that they weren't happy, maybe they're lonely, something like that. And you might have other things too, but let's just talk about kind of my assumptive starting point here. First of all, there's so many tools available to you, from free up to paid items for every single subject and grade level, that are there to support you and support your kids' learning no matter what their learning style or needs are. Also, I just want to remind you that education is not a zero-sum game. It's not like if your kids don't learn to do a book report by the end of a certain grade that they can never learn it, or if they haven't mastered geometry by the time they're 18, that all is lost. When you find that there's needs or gaps, something that you missed, guess what? You can learn it now. It doesn't matter if it's a third grade thing. Those kind of distinctions really don't exist in homeschooling. So there's always more time to learn. You know, my oldest son finished up high school, did just fine, but years later, I found he had an Algebra for Dummies book in his room, and I asked him about it, and he said, oh yeah, I never really felt like I truly understood algebra, and I wanted to know it a little better, so I decided to get this book and learn it. He was like 19 or 20 years old. He had just decided he took an interest in it. It felt relevant to his life to understand more about it. Learning's never done. The real success was that I had a kid that knew that, and that knew that learning was valuable for him, and that was able to take the initiative to help himself when he needed it. So give that some thought. What would success look like? What would failure look like? And how can you mitigate the difference?